Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Christopher Sutton and this is more about my collage process. This week I did 5 different collages. So in last week's video you probably saw that there were 3 different layouts for collages that I didn't actually talk about, and that was because I didn't glue them down at all. Sometimes when I'm putting stuff together I just feel like it does not work in any way and I just get too scared about gluing it down and I just leave it. And that's when it's just brought out on my table for way too long and I find pieces on the ground because my cat got to them. So in this video you'll see how I attack collages that I wasn't really feeling in the first place and kind of reassess and relook at the pieces that I'm adding to it. I'm also looking at the composition of the piece to make sure that that works. There's a lot that just goes into it. Sometimes I'm thinking about it, sometimes I completely forget and glue stuff down without thinking through, and it's just all a learning process. So enjoy and let me know what you think. Since my last video, these were the collages that I had laid out but never actually glued down. So after my cat walked over them a whole bunch and after a few days, this is what they look like. So I'm gonna put them back together and see what I come up with. As I go through laying out pieces for the collages, I'm really just trying to find what works together. So, as I've said before, I really don't like anything where people are breaking the fourth wall, but I like when people are interacting with each other within a scene. So, for example, in the collage on the left, we have the girls on the couch who are in the pumpkin outfits kind of looking at the leg. Also, the girls on the left on the tire, I think, are looking at the leg. So we already have 2 things interacting with something that's going on in the center of the collage, which I really like. Two things about this collage immediately stood out to me. One was that I was trying to create a kind of a trash pile on the left side there. The way that this cave looked just kind of made me think of a fort or something that kids might create in the middle of the forest. So that's why I was creating that trash pile. The other thing was that when I was putting all these pieces together, the composition of the piece kind of created an X. So the way that the person is holding the iron or whatever that is goes down to the leg, the arm with the green thing on its hand goes up to the right corner, coming down to the center into the trash pile. So I think as the piece came together, it's what I saw as kind of the path that I should take when I was putting this piece together. So if you ever see me rub my hands together in any of my videos, it's because when you work with liquid glue, just so much gets in your hands and you inevitably need to kind of get it off in some way because as it dries, it gets extremely annoying. You might also see me rub parts of the page trying to get glue off of it before it dries. Sometimes that works depending on the paper that you use. So on this background, it's a little bit glossy, so I might be able to rub off any glue before it dries. But if I'm working on a page that is maybe like a newspaper print or something like that, you just make the issue so much worse by trying to get it off because the dirt just kind of builds up and sticks to the glue and just everything gets darker and it just gets worse and worse. So that is definitely something that has happened to me many a times. One thing that's also kind of interesting about this new pH glue is that it beads up a lot on the back of paper. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's something else besides it being more liquidy than Elmer's glue that I've also noticed about it. So a big part of trying to get into collage now is to try to have some kind of purpose behind my collages. This is a collage I ended up calling Heading Home, and thankfully I have such an amazing wife that we've been able to allow me to focus a little bit more on art, and this piece just reminds me a lot when I was working in the office and just that desire of trying to get home but all this traffic that's stopping you. So that was the inspiration for this piece. So in terms of tools that I use throughout the collage, I always have these with me. Scissors, they're the things that I use the most. I love cutting stuff out with scissors. I just work so much better with them. I know a lot of people use X-Acto blades. For some reason, I'm just like really bad at it. I feel like I cannot cut it very well. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm pushing too hard or I just have horrible blades, but it is something that is nice for small things, but I find it very hard to do bigger things. And then just a regular box cutter. I use this when I'm cutting off the edges at the very end just because it has the best blade and I can make cleaner cuts. It was hard to pass up using this background of a lobby as a collage background because I just love the way that there's just so much depth already in that picture. So one of the things that I was trying to do here to add more depth is to put the TV behind the light. So you'll see me kind of cut out around the sphere of the light and just put the top right tip of the TV behind the light. I just think it adds a little slight something to the piece that makes it a little bit more interesting. And that brings us to the final collage. So this collage is entirely about Texas barbecue. I currently live in Texas. Luckily, I'm going to be changing that soon, which I'm excited about. But the biggest thing that I want to kind of draw attention to in this piece is the fact that there's kind of a hidden credit card behind a woman. Barbecue in Texas is amazing, but it is so expensive. So that was just kind of the thing I was most excited about. It just is extremely real down here in Texas. Thank you so much for watching. I plan to continue to do this once a week. Every Thursday I'll be posting one. Please let me know what you think so I can continue to grow and improve. I'll also be doing videos on other types of work, colorful abstract paintings. So I'm trying to work on videos for that, but just stay tuned and have a great week. See you later.